Okay, next day on the home run. So we've got all our pieces to build a steam box. This is the steamer I bought off eBay, just open box I think it was. I think it was $50, no, $50 Canadian. It was. Just going to use the same hose that came with it. So we just got the 1/4 inch extension there, which just screws into the end of this pipe. We're going to see how this pipe goes, if it works. I think I've seen other people sort of upsize to a bigger pipe, just volume I guess, more steam in, but just for ease, pipe that came with it, so it screws into there. Get that. I'm just going to have to cut these down, these nuts, so it fits through a piece of the wood. I have to see, and that, to see how that lines up. Let's see what how it goes, yeah, because that'll go on the end of the box. And we'll just cut this a little longer than our piece here. I'm just using pine, no real. I know it's probably not going to hold up forever, but as long as it's long enough for this job, it will be good. So I'm just going to make it, yeah, probably just a little bit longer than this piece. I think it's just over, it's not 5 foot that piece, I think it's 4.5, something like that. So yeah, so we'll just cut that a little longer, the box pieces. And this was cheap as well because the lumber's so expensive. I think that was down to like $4 an 8 foot piece, so that's why we went with that. So yeah, let's cut that down and then screw those pieces together, and we'll cut the ends. So one end will have a hole drilled through it and this in it, so it's just blowing the steam in one end. The other end will be capped off. I'm not going to seal it right down so it's airtight, otherwise it's just going to explode with pressure. So we'll screw it all together, pull the pieces together, and then see how it goes, how it works. If it's blowing out too much steam, I might have to unscrew it and seal it somehow, but for now I'm just going to screw it all together and just see how that goes. Okay, so we got all the box together. Pretty much I did decide to glue because it was kind of figured that it'd be trying to hold water with a sieve kind of idea if I didn't glue those up. So just glued these edges and the end and rely on this to release any pressure because it's not totally sealed. These are the best catches. I use these chest latches. I couldn't get anything smaller. Home Depot doesn't really, well, we don't really carry any more smaller ones, so that's the best I got there. We got this for the hook up to the steam. I ended up just drilling the hole a little smaller and then just plugging it through. So it's just kind of forced in there. My first one just split because the hole was too small, so just something to be aware of. Steamer's there. We got this already. I notched it out, skill saw and Dremel kind of combination. And our board to bend on is our template. I got a block there to stick our piece of oak in when we are going to bend it. Then I'll screw 2 other pieces on there once I get it bent around. If that all goes to plan, we get that far, then yeah, I'll screw the edges here, 2 blocks to hold it in from popping out. But I think that's it for the day. I'm just going to let this silicone dry right through, and then tomorrow we'll get the steamer all cranked up and see what a mess we can make. See if we come out with a nice curved piece of oak or, yeah, catastrophe. Tune in tomorrow and find out. So next day, after reading up quite a bit on bending and stuff, I altered my jig since it was quite insufficient for what we needed. Yeah, a little bit naive I'd say on bending. wood. So yeah, we jacked it up so it'll lock in place here. Put our wood in. I've drilled a little hole through my bit of oak so I can put a pin through here to lock it, because it has to be a specific way since we put that little cut in there. Middle is to help keep the fibers from more compacted, if you read up on that. So put one of those in just to go with the bend as we go around. Here for the clamps, so we upgraded quite a bit. I ended up, pretty much you do want to seal the your steam box as much as possible. Try and get that heat up. So I sealed, put some gasket, like window seal in there, so when clamps on. So we'll see how sealed that is. I did have to soak in the water, use a bit of old guttering, but it tipped over there as you can see. But to soak the water, soak the oak, sorry. I'll leave that overnight. I'll put warm water in to start with, and I'll replace it with warm water again. I'll tip the rest outside, and we'll put some more warm or hot water in there. It helps penetrate. They say you can probably try bending it after an hour in hot water, so I don't know about that, but I think I will go with overnight, even in cold water, just to let it penetrate as much as possible to help bend it, because it is quite a tight curve. But obviously someone did it at some point and managed to get there, so we've just got to try and replicate the same. What could go wrong? Yeah, I don't know. I don't expect to get it on the first. It looks pretty kind of complicated and that. So yeah, we'll see how we go, but everything's pretty much ready this time. I think I'm a bit more ready, confident in bending this. We'll see how she goes. So we will see you tomorrow for some bending. So I decided to maybe I'll strike up the steamer box here. Just turn the steamer on rather than waiting another day. It is actually going right now, you can't hear it. I soaked the wood out there again. It's getting a little bit more malleable, so I don't know. We'll see how we go. They said when I was reading up on it, some say get the water as hot as you can, boiling if you can, put it in there, you wait an hour, and then try to bend it. So I don't know, between that, and it's a fairly thin piece of wood too, with just over 1/4 of an inch. So start this up and yeah, go from there. And see if this box works as well. I guess that's the other thing. If that thing can't hold can't hold the temperature and this heat that wood up to where we need it to be, then I have to go back to the drawing board. So it's been going for about half an hour now. There's a few other holes just where it's found its way through the wood. I think that you wouldn't want it to be totally sealed off, because otherwise it's just going to build up pressure and then explode essentially. So you do want some release. I just don't know if that amount of releases that's happening right now is too much. I guess we'll find out. And I have elevated as well, so all the heat rises to the far end of the box, and then the condensation can come back down and out where it's leaking a little bit of steam there. So whether that's actually works or not remains to be seen, but I mean, heat rises, so help get that heat right down the other end. That's only my personal sort of idea, so we'll see. Be safe. to sit it in there for an hour as well. This is all guesstimation for me because first time doing it, so we'll see. I might push it past an hour and just see. This tank, steam tank, will actually run for 2 hours with the amount of water in it, so I don't know whether it's a good idea to go longer. Can't see it hurting it. Go longer, hopefully help us bend the wood. But as I said before, I'm kind of doubtful being the first time, and it seems like when you're new to it, it's kind of a bit of a learning curve at the start. So, although I did read up last night there that some people just did it on their first go, but these are different types of wood too. One guy said he just did it straight away without soaking, and that was with cherry. So I don't know, we'll see. Time will tell, I guess. Okay, so we've had it in about an hour and 3/4. Made a few adjustments. Just duct taped up some of the I had a crack under here in the wood, so we just taped it up. It helps a little bit, but it's been an hour and 3/4, so I think we're gonna pull it out and see if we can bend. We'll switch off the steamer. I've got gloves on hand in case. I'm expecting it to probably be hot. Not too bad. There you go. That easy. Man, that went, except I am super stoked with that, like that. That did not even crack. I don't know if it was worth it leaving it the extra three-quarters of an hour, but whatever. Seemed to work, do the job. First time. That's awesome. Yeah, I think just read up and study as much as you can. The soaking part, I don't think you need to soak it overnight. I mean, that's almost, what was it? Yeah, just over a quarter inch thick. It's yeah, I almost thought it was going to be too thick to bend, but nope, went well. I did soak it in the warm water, which I did think it helped. And I did that like 3 times over the course of the morning, about every hour, so over 3 hours. And then, yeah, in our steam box for, I mean, that wasn't even like sealed 100%. We still had like gaps in that, mainly down the front where the door was. But still managed to do the job. I think if you keep it confined as much as you can to the size of your wood, so all that heat is just going into your wood and that. No, super stoked with that. That is awesome. The part I thought was going to be the hardest kind of wasn't in the end. But saying that, it did make me more cautious. to read up more, which I'm glad I did. And here we go. But I would highly recommend, yeah, reading up, clamping like this, making you jig the middle definitely helps. Stop all the fibres from expanding and breaking, keeps them together. Yeah, not much else to say, but yeah, that's perfect. So I think I'll leave this, I'll leave for today and probably tomorrow just to dry right out again. The garage is heated, so we'll just keep the temperature in here about 10 degrees. We'll let this dry right out and hold its shape, hopefully. Yeah, and then we can start shaping it to what we need. Finish it off. Okay, we let it sit all yesterday. There, after we'd done it, came out pretty good. You can see it held its shape. It's got a little bit of spring there. I was marking out where to cut it and stuff, drilled the holes, kind of start lining things up, you hope. Yeah, I can show you a little bit more over the jig again and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty basic. I did follow pretty much all the more important things to do, like in compression band. And this, I only figured it was worth putting over the actual part that was being stretched and so on. The curve didn't make any sense to go all the way. I've seen people do it right over the whole stretch. The thread is just 2. If you've got the middle, I just didn't have that much, so and I figured, and it did make it easier too. As part of being only what I had, and also it only made sense to put it there, and it made it easier to stretch over that and do it. We just nailed it inside down there on our bit that we lock it into, and then a couple of pieces there just for a grip. So that was fairly basic. Yeah, and the seam box itself was real basic. Just screw together, silicone glue, just what I had left over again. Did open here, but no steam actually came out of there. It's just obviously where I duct taped there, just there. I did notice the knots here did leak a little bit. This one actually closed up just with the sap heating up and coming out and cooling to the outside. The further one down the end there kind of lit a little bit out each through the whole thing. This is my main one where it leaked the most, but again, it's still heated enough to bend it. But I did leave it over 2 hours, or up to 2 hours in the box because I was only doing the one piece. It didn't really worry me. And if you do more pieces, maybe then you only do an hour if you're trying to rattle through them all. But if you got the time, I'd just leave it the extra hour. And that seemed to work. I did soak it, what did I say, 3 times there in the morning, and no, it came off really well. There's the bit that goes on the end there. Like I say, I just drilled the hole just slightly smaller, knocked it through. The first effort I actually split because it was a little bit too tight, so just be aware of that. Nope, that worked really fine. Just screwed the hose on the end. Again, that's the steamer I use, the 725 power steamer Wagner. So I'd highly recommend it. It worked really well. Again, I picked mine up open box on eBay, so if you can find one like that, save you some money. But okay, I'm gonna clear this all away, and we'll get into cleaning this piece up. So I've already marked these curved pieces cut out into length, so we'll cut those out and start putting it together. I do also have to mark this little, there's this little catch that goes in here, so I've got to cut this piece out too at some point, cut it through. So, but first I'll cut out the ends and shape it, and that, get it cleaned up a little bit more, and then we'll get onto that. Hopefully get it sort of sanded and ready for shellac. Probably won't shellac today, I'll just work on cleaning things up. I think I should be able to get all that done. Cut these edges out, get the other piece through, sand, clean it up, get it ready, screwed together, and then I'm probably just going to shellac it all together as one piece rather than individual pieces, which I think this was done originally, but kind of just bond everything together a little bit better. Maybe. Good idea, bad idea, don't know. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, on the home stretch. So this is all ready to be shellacked. I've did the baking soda on this guy too to bring the colour down and that. So should hopefully match in. So yeah, I'll start shellacking this guy. Yeah, and that's what this is done. Put it all together and boom, done. Morning, final day of the build on this high chair. Actually, it's finished. The reveal, I'd say. So here's a before shot. And here is the finished product. Really happy how it turned out. We managed to save most of the original. So pieces we made new were this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and of course the band around the front here that we bent the other day. They all really blend in really well. So no, I'm happy how that turned out. Everything works. Flip that back. No, good build. I'd say it was probably 4 weeks in total if you count days just of gluing, clamping and waiting for parts as well. Trying to find replacement screws that were similar. No, very happy how that turned out. So that's it. If you liked it, if you want to see more stuff, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next project.